Hi, welcome back to the second part of the book, Who Really Created Democracy by Amy Jane Levitt. Remember yesterday we learned about the two players, the ancient Greeks and then the American colonists. The ancient Greeks were in over 2,000 years ago and the colonists were in the 1770s. Big decisions. Changing the rule of Athens. The unrest in Athens is also spinning out of control. The wealthy rulers need to find a way to calm the city. They quickly make a plan. In 594 BC, they turn the government over to the aristocrat named Solon. They hope he can bring peace to Athens. Solon was born to a powerful family, but he's also lived the life of a common person. He spent many years working as a trader. For this reason, the common people seem to like him. Members of the oligarchy know it's dangerous to give all the power to one person. The poor people know it is too. If Solon wants, he can make himself the king and create whatever laws he wants. But Solon doesn't want to abuse his power. He loves Athens and wants to settle the trouble. First, Solon changes the debtors' laws. No longer will Athenians have to sell family members to pay debts. He even brings back people who were sold as slaves. Down in the red box, it says aristocrat, a member of a group of people thought to be the best in some way, usually based on their wealth. Fun fact: Solon liked to write poetry. Much of what historians know about Solon comes from his poems. The people are excited about this change, but the poor still have no voice in the government. If Solon wants, he can change the law back any time. Then Solon starts to rearrange the government and society. He divides the citizens into 4 classes based on how much their farms produce. People can move into a higher class by growing more food. The people in the top 3 classes are allowed to run for government office. In this new system, the aristocrats are no longer in control of everything. The common people like what Solon is doing, but the lowest class still can't participate in the government, and they're still struggling to feed their families and pay their debts to the aristocrats. Solon's changes just aren't enough. The aristocrats aren't happy either. They don't like that the lower classes have some power now. A negative buzz can be heard in Athens. No one is really happy. Can Solon's new government survive? Now we're going to jump to the colonists. The colonists go to war. The American colonists continue to struggle with their government. The patriots hate Britain's unfair treatment of the colonists. But what can they do? After the Tea Party, Parliament closed Boston Harbor. British soldiers now march through the colonies, and the king just signed a bill that forces colonists to house and feed those soldiers. Patriot leaders meet in Philadelphia in September of 1774. Leaders at the Continental Congress discuss what should be done. Finally, they decide the colonies will stop all trade with Great Britain. They also write a letter to the king. They ask for fair treatment and a voice in the government. The Patriots' effort only makes the king and Parliament angrier. In April 1775, the king orders British troops to destroy the colonists' storage of weapons. Word of the plan leaks out. The Patriots prepare to fight. The British Army marches towards Lexington, Massachusetts. When the soldiers arrive, a small band of patriots is waiting. A British officer orders the patriots to drop their weapons and leave. The Americans face an army of hundreds of trained soldiers. They have no choice but to back down. They turn to go, but they won't leave their guns. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out. A British officer orders his troops to fire. The patriots fire back. It's war. The Patriots fought the British at the Battle of Lexington on April 19th, 1775. Fun fact: historians don't know which side fired the first shot that started the Revolutionary War. Jefferson, the man standing, worked with other patriots like Benjamin Franklin, the man on the left, and John Adams in the center on the Declaration. In June 1776, Patriot leaders asked Thomas Jefferson to write a declaration. They wanted to tell the world that they are fighting this war to be independent from Great Britain. In the document, Jefferson lists the ways the king has wronged the colonists. The king has refused to give them say in the government. He has made them pay unfair taxes. He hasn't given the colonists fair trials. Jefferson writes that the colonists will no longer take this unjust treatment. The document is presented to the Patriot leaders on July 4th, 1776. 56 men sign their name to the Declaration of Independence. By doing so, they are committing treason against Great Britain. The king could have them killed for this act. Winning the war is now life or death for the colonists. Fun fact: 2 future presidents signed the Declaration, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Down at the bottom, it says this is the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It's a painting. And in the blue box, it gives some definitions. Declaration is a public announcement. Treason is the crime of betraying your country or government.